In this video, I'm going to be specifically making it for my M105 class at IUK. These topics and two examples that I'm going to do here are dealing with things that are in section 7-3. This is going to be two examples of multiplying radicals and then simplifying your answer after you are done. And we are going to assume that all variables are positive, so we're not going to have to mess with any absolute values. Alright, in this first example, okay, when we multiply radicals, as long as they're both cube roots or fourth roots or whatever the root is, then I can just go ahead and multiply what's underneath. I can also multiply numbers in front because those are coefficients. Alright, so 7 times 5 is going to give me a 35. I'll keep the cube root, and 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, now at this time you need to look at this and see if you can simplify. Alright, this cube root of 24 can be simplified. What you need to do is find the biggest perfect cube root that goes into 24. Alright, if you're not very familiar with your roots, then especially if you're in my 105 class, then you can download this from the website. But basically it's just a list of all your squares and your cubes, your perfect fourths, and your perfect fifth roots. Okay, so these are cube roots, so I'm going to go down my cube root column. Alright, 24 divided by 1, yes it does. 24 divided by 8, yes it does. So right there's 1. 24, and then 27. Okay, now 27 is my next perfect cube, and it's bigger than 24. So then that means that the biggest perfect cube root that goes into 24 is 8. Alright, and if you're not in my classes, then obviously you can download this chart just off the internet. All it is just perfect squares, cubes, perfect fourth roots, perfect fifth roots. Makes simplifying your roots a little bit easier here. Okay, so that 35 is going to stay out in front. Alright, we said the biggest perfect cube root that goes into 24 is the cube root of 8. Alright, 24 divided by 8 is 3, so that means I also have to have a cube root of 3. These two put together equals that, so I'm simplifying this. Alright, that 35 I'm just going to keep. Alright, I'm going to actually take the cube root of 8, which is a 2. Alright, and then this cube root of 3 here I can't do anything with, so I'm just going to keep it. I can multiply these two out in front to give me a final answer of 70, cube root of 3. Okay, so that one was pretty straightforward. Alright, you can also encounter examples like this that might also have variables in them with some exponents. So we're going to start out by multiplying these. They're both fourth roots, so I can multiply what's underneath. So I'm going to have the fourth root of 8 times 8 is 64. Alright, when multiplying like bases, we're going to add those exponents, so I'll have an x to the 8th. Same thing on the y's. When multiplying like bases, you're going to add those exponents, so we'll have a y to the 5th. Alright, now generally what I like to do and what I have done in previous videos is I like to break this all up. When I'm going to separate them, I want to look at each individual thing by itself. So I'm going to have the fourth root of 64 times the fourth root of an x to the 8th times the fourth root of a y to the 5th. And I'm going to separate and simplify then each one of these individually. Alright, now again, you need to be able to find the biggest fourth perfect root. Alright, that's going to go into 64. So again, if you've got a chart, okay, you can go down your fourth roots, just start going down. Alright, 1 goes into 64, yep. 16 goes into 64. 81, okay, so the next number is 81. 81's bigger than 64, so that means the biggest perfect fourth root that goes into 64 is 16. Okay, so I can break this up into the fourth root of 16. Alright, now 64 divided by 16 is 4, so fourth root of 4. Okay, breaking these two up. Alright, as we have done in previous videos, alright, simplifying this, let's see if it's a perfect fourth root. If I can take 8 divided by 4, which I can, which is 2, that means this is a perfect fourth root. So I can just simplify this as an x squared. Alright, now on this one, 5 divided by 4, can't do it. Alright, so I'm going to take that exponent and I'm going to start decreasing by 1 until I find the next number that does divide by 4. Alright, so I'm at 5, go down to 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that means I can break this up into the fourth root of y to the 4th, because that's going to be a perfect root. Alright, now I had 5 y's. I used 4 of them here. That means I have 1 left over. When multiplying like bases, we add the exponents, would get me back up there to that y to the 5th. Okay, now I'm just going to take each one of these The fourth root of 16 is going to be 2. Alright, the fourth root of 4, I cannot simplify. I can't do anything with that, so I'm just going to leave it. X squared has already been simplified, so I'm going to leave it. Alright, this one, 4 divided by 4 is 1. That means this is a perfect fourth root. Alright, so I'll have a y to the first coming from that 4 divided by 4 giving me the 1. And then I cannot do anything with this, so I'll just leave that as the fourth root of y. At this point, anything that is outside of the radical is going to be multiplied together. Anything underneath the radicals will be multiplied together. So final answer is going to look like a 2x squared y times the fourth root of a 4y. Okay, so pretty much 2 quick examples there of how you would go about multiplying radicals and then checking that answer after you've multiplied them to see if it can be simplified, because if it can, you are going to have to simplify those. Alright, and again, these examples were done. I am making the assumption that all variables are positive, so we are not dealing with the absolute values at this point. Definitely thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, don't forget to share with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.